right, we're back with another Boss Steel Blades exclusive. Today we're looking at a GEC Cutlery 29 in Osage orange. This is the Stockyard Whittler. This is knife number 291319. Let's get into the model. So in 2019, GEC Cutlery put out the 29. I picked this up on release. What you're talking about is a three-bladed knife or three-tooled knife, opposite end tools, and Tidioute cutlery, so Tidioute trim. So what we're talking about is a satin polished blade, plain bolsters, hot dog shield. For the main tool, you have a clip point blade. For the secondary tools, you have a very long sheep's foot and an awl. So it's an interesting design. It's an interesting knife. 3 different springs here, 3 tools, 3 springs. So you don't have multiple tools riding on the same spring. Consequently, it is, while it's a small knife, it seems big. It fills the hand just because it's got a lot going on. There's a lot to it. Here's your tube. Standard Tidioute stuff, right? Nothing else to it. It's a fairly small knife, but it's got a whole lot of handle to it. Centered blade, even though there's multiple tools in there. The main blade riding on the center spring. The handle is deeper than the blade is. That always caught my attention about it, is that you got a whole lot of handle happening on this top bolster, and the knife blade is fairly thin there. This has been a long time user for me. It's had a lot of pocket time, and it's spent a lot of time kind of almost being like a bench knife. It's just always around. It's always out. I grab it if I need to open packages or something like that. So this has seen quite a bit of use. We've got Pattern Production Premier there, the PPP. So I guess in 2019, this was the first release of the 29. I don't think we've seen one since. I don't know if GEC Cutlery has plans to bring it back, if that's something on the horizon or not. Good action on this knife. All 3 tools move really well. I keep saying tools because I've heard this called a 3-bladed knife. I guess the awl is kind of a blade. I don't think of it as a blade. You don't slice with it. I mean, it's meant for piercing. The awl or reamer, it's meant for puncturing holes or reaming out holes. To me, it's a 3-tooled knife, but whatever. It's a nice clip point blade. Ergonomically, that extra bit of handle there that sticks out is nice. It sits in the hand nice for use. The sheep's foot is a little bit longer than usual. I've seen this compared against other knives with sheep's foot secondaries on them, and I think, especially given the overall size of this knife, you don't usually have sheep's foots that are this long. Sterile blade, no billboard. Let's see what we got on the tangs here. So on this main, Titusville Cutlery, made in USA, and then on the back side we have GEC Cutlery, Titusville, PA. We have Titusville on both. Oh, Tidioute Cutlery, made in the USA. And then, let's see, on the sheep's foot we have 2919 or 291319 and nothing. And then on the awl we have carbon and nothing. All 3 are nail nicks. And we have a drawn swedge both on the sheep's foot and the clip point. The wood here is Osage orange. Now, you can see the age on this. I mean, this is very darkened from carry, just oils in the hand, that kind of thing. And it's got a lot of use on it. You can see these bolsters are torn up pretty good. And in fact, on the back of this knife in the wood, you've even got some chips in there, some spots where the wood took a hit. Same thing with these bolsters. I mean, in fact, if I come down to see if I can catch a fingernail in these bolsters, I can hang up on dents and chips in the bolster past where my fingernail would catch. So this thing has seen its fair share of use. But the Osage orange wood is interesting, and this has pretty good grain on it. So Osage orange wood, and this is something I talked about on Slipjoint Display. Osage orange wood is native to North America, and it's one of the strongest woods in North America. It's a highly valued wood. The American Indians used to use it for bow making and weapon making. And in fact, as I've read, they valued it so much that they would fight over territories that were heavy with Osage orange wood. So it's interesting. It's kind of cool that, you know, it's coming up on pocket knives. Here's a profile of the knife. Profile of the knife. Let's do a little size comparison here. Interestingly, another knife in Osage orange. The only other Osage orange I've got. This is rough cut Osage orange, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So it's about the size of a 15. I mean, this is a GEC 15. So they're about the same size. Different blades here. Maybe a little bit of different length in the blades. Yeah, the 15 is a little longer, but still, I mean, if you're talking about looking at somebody take one of these or both of these knives out and use them, you're going to look at either case and say that the knives are about the same size. Although, certainly you can see the difference in size given the extra tools on the 29, how much thicker it is. So, because of that, it feels more substantial in the hand. Let's have a look around real quick. So, overall, we're talking 6 1/4. And for blade length, for a cutting edge, we're talking 2 1/2 with 2 3/4 blade. Now, let's do this. For our secondary tool here for this sheep's foot, you're talking 2 1/4 cutting with maybe another 1/8 total. And then you're all two and a quarter of the tool, and then another 1/8 to it. So decent sized tools on this, given the overall size, and you can see how it's all fitted together. I mean, that's interesting. I'm sure that's easier than something like a split back whittler, but I mean, it's almost more common to see that as opposed, you know, to see multiple tools riding on the same spring, which I'm sure is harder to execute just from the way I hear stuff talked about. But this is interesting to look at. This is busy from this angle. There's a lot going on. You can see that there. Nice job on the hafting here. This looked like one solid piece of metal when I first got it. It's just got so much age and use on it that you can really tell the difference from one spring to the next. Here's your open well. So I'm sure that's interesting to see if you haven't seen it already. Let's look for gaps. So yeah, we've got a bunch of gaps in there, but this thing is really, really a heavy user. I mean, just the patina alone, you can tell how much life this thing has been through. It's an interesting piece, and it's one that I've enjoyed having around just to grab it and use it for oddball tasks. I have carried it. I mean, it has seen pocket time, but it's gotten a lot more use just kind of being around as something for me to, you know, throw in my hand when I needed to open something or something like that. I wanted to bring it out. I wanted to show it. I wanted to get a video up for Joel on his channel. get down in the comments. Let us know what you think, guys. Do you have a 29? Did you have a 29? Is it your first time seeing the pattern? I don't think this one is really released as frequently as some other ones. So what are your thoughts on it? Get down in the comments. Let us know. We'll see you guys on the next video.